Hello, everybody. Oh, we're live. I'm Andrew McKay of Remax here in Wasaga Beach. It's May 20th and a very, very sunny Saturday. We've got some decent weather at long last. If you can see and hear me okay, can you please leave below a thumbs up, isn't it? A like, a heart, or a comment. Hope everybody, as always, hope everybody's safe and well and still staying at home as much as they can. And like I always like to say, a big, big thank you, a heartfelt thank you to all the frontline essential workers. But today, we can do more than that. We've got one of the organisers here who's going to talk about Wasaga Beach, who's going to tell us all about the Wasaga Beach Loves Frontline Workers contest. I messed that up. The Wasaga Beach Loves Frontline Workers contest. So here's Leslie. I'll let him introduce himself. We had a few technical difficulties, but he's here, so that's great.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you very much. I'm Leslie R. Farkas. I'm the owner of Skydive Wasaga Beach. I'm one of the organizers here for the Wasaga Beach Loves Frontline Workers contest. I can basically, I should probably tell you the way it started. Skydive Wasaga was going to put together a little contest and give away some free skydives to some frontline workers who are obviously so deserving of some much needed relief on their own. And as we put it together, I kind of had an idea of why just stop with a skydive? Why not kind of involve the whole town and see what the other businesses thought about it? And a bunch of them jumped on board. So it turned into from win a skydive to win an adventure weekend in Wasaga Beach. That really pales in comparison to nothing. To be honest with you, this is a real 5-star experience. It's, you've got the Wasaga Beach Brewing Company. They will be providing the beer and the transportation with their lovely RV.
Here we go.
Boston Pizza. Yep, Boston Pizza will be there providing the lunches. Kevin De Silva and Wasaga Beach Flyboard will be providing flyboarding. Barcello's with a 5-star dinner. Beach One Rentals will be providing the Riverfront Villa. There'll be a private concert. Stonebridge has put together $500 cash for each of the winners. Wasaga.com, Free Spirit Tours is also putting together the trip down the Nottawasaga River. We're adding stuff every single day. Time to be fit. There's going to be a little bit of some personal training at the private villa in the morning to get you all set for your busy day. AMJ, Epicure certificates by Roxanne Hagen. I mean, the list goes on, to be honest with you. And it doesn't end until we close the contest. We're leaving the sponsorship options open for all the sponsors to be able to even jump in at the last minute, because until the day they win, we can keep adding to that pile. So at this point, basically, they're going to come in, they're going to do a skydive. They're going to do the flyboard lessons. They're going to go to the villa. They're going to have a private concert. The next morning, they're going to wake up to some private, some private fitness lessons. And they'll be heading off to do some paddling in the morning. And I think I've got something else worked in for the Sunday. I don't want to say it yet because I haven't got it committed. Look for an announcement next week. And also, since the Ontario government has extended the state of emergency, we're going to extend the contest by another month to allow everybody to be able to get in on this, because I think across Ontario, every single frontline worker deserves to have something like this. And I know not just me, but we as a town would love to be able to give each and every one of them. But this is what we've come up with as something that we can actually give. So we can give 5 of you. And that's with a +1 for for the stay and most of the activities. Details are on the Facebook page. But we can give 5 of you the opportunity to get pampered and be taken care of Wasaga Beach style for a weekend.
Wow. Well, there's 2 things. I think you're quite right. Every single one of these frontline essential workers, whether it be medical, the superstore, Walmart, care workers, PSWs, we've been lucky. We're staying at home. Generally, people are moaning a bit about, I don't like staying in, but these are the heroes. They really are. So your enthusiasm is obvious. I mean, it's fantastic. And then, as always, the other businesses are joining in. And I think if we can get the word out there, more businesses should start either for those 5, I don't know, but we need, if we can, we need to do something. At least a big thank you for them all from the town of some sort.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that was how it started. It turned to, like I said, a thank you from Skydive Wasaga Beach turned into a thank you from, basically the town of Wasaga Beach, because everybody that's pitched in, they're not just corporate sponsors. These are private citizens too that are putting in gift certificates and making sure that they want to contribute because they feel like these people have really gone out of their way. They've stepped up when we need them most. And it's really not hard to go out of your way and do something really awesome for someone like that, right? So,
well, I think
a lot of people are taking.
I don't want to sound too serious. It's not just setting up. Some of them are putting their lives on the line.
Oh, there's no question. They are absolutely stepping up, and in every sense of the word.
Yeah,
I mean, they are the heroes of the day. That's for sure.
Yeah,
for the
definitely.
past 3 months, there's no question. And you know what? Really, before that, the past 3 months have only highlighted what they've been doing because they've been there the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I know back home in England, every Thursday they have clap for the NHS, which is the National Health Service. And all of us know that nurses do a fantastic job 365 days a week, but I think they get taken for granted. And this has really highlighted not just nurses, but all essential workers, people in Walmart, people in the superstore. They make our lives easy. They, not just now, but always, they make our lives easy. And for them to go into the superstore every day or Walmart,
it's got to be scary. It's got to be something, like to know that you're going into a place where there's a lot of people and every single media outlet is saying, hey, listen, avoid people. And your job is to be in the middle of people. That's got to be scary.
Yeah.
And my hats off to them. And like I said, I give them the ultimate respect. Every single one of them, because they are doing, like I said, I mean, it's not an understatement. When I say they're heroes, they really are, because without them, 3 months ago, our whole world would have really crumbled and really stood still. If they weren't there to make sure the pieces kept running. So I mean, it's a big deal, and right down to even everybody, the municipality workers. The list is so big. If you're working right now and you're helping keep things moving, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
Yeah, that's 100% right. I think the rest of us are a bit cocooned, and as I said, we're worried about having to stay in and stuff, but we can stay in. We've got that luxury because of these people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the numbers, fortunately, one illness, one death is one too many. But so far, to me, the numbers have been so much lower than they could have been, because these workers are allowing us to stay home. And we had all that ridiculousness at the start with shelves being empty and toilet paper. And if the workers weren't there and turning up every day, the stores would have been empty now, because people would have they stopped us panicking.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So they did stop the panic. And to be honest with you, from this side, when I was watching, I was seeing the cracks, if you will, kind of forming in society. There's a panic kind of setting in. And you're absolutely right. They're the reason that it didn't set in.
Yeah. And I think everybody has to realize the numbers are low because of that. Not that the danger was exaggerated, and is still dangerous and still can't be overemphasized. Anybody says, oh, it's exaggerated, doesn't. 1 + 1 = 2. The virus is there. The people, the frontline workers, allowed us to stay at home, and the numbers are low because of that.
And remember, Andrew, I mean, at the end of the day, we look at as we watch our TVs and we see digits on the screen. You've got to remember that those digits are more than digits. Those are people. Those are families. Wasaga Beach has had a loss to COVID, and every single one of those numbers affect so many more than just that one number. So when you think of the spectrum, and you see the numbers, and and you say, okay, well, they're at such and such a number, then remember that, multiply that number, because each one of that is like five, 6 people it touches at least. At least. So it's such a big deal. It is a scary time for sure, but it is also a positive time, because it's amazing to see how many people have pulled together in how many different ways, not just for this initiative, for so many other initiatives that I've seen. A lot of people are stepping up to put frontline worker funds together and things like that. And it's very, very nice to see that the people at the very front of the stage right now that are really keeping things together, that have been there, like I said, the whole time. It's not that they're new. They didn't just show up 3 weeks ago. They've been holding the strings together the whole time. We just didn't quite see the value or the strength or however you want to put it. And it's gotten highlighted now. And I hope that as we move forward, it doesn't stop. I hope the fact that we are saying thank you now, I hope we continue to say thank you even beyond COVID.
Yep, definitely. It's they were taken for granted, because fortunately, I think most of us before COVID weren't directly affected. You know, you go to hospital occasionally, but now we're affected day by day. So it really brings home the good work they've always done. And I'm 100% with you about we need to continue showing our gratitude and appreciation, you know, that these incredible. How do people, is there still nominations possible? Can you just go
yes,
through
indeed.
how it works?
So we started off the nominations with videos and write-ins. We've had a couple of technical glitches, so we've refined to now just submit a photo with a write-up of who it is that you would like to win, what it is that they do, and why it is that you think they should win. And that, in 1,000 words or less, it'll go into a nominees folder, photo album on the Facebook page, and the votes are counted by likes. So it's very simple. The ones that have the most likes. So, you know, get your friends into it. Get everybody to like the page. Get the word out across Ontario, and get as many people to like your photos as you can. Okay. And you know, again, it really. I wish we could do a whole lot more. I wish we could say, you know, 5,000 of you could win, because my heart really would love to be able to do that. And I know that our town's heart would love to be able to do that. But I will tell you right now, the 5 who do win are in for something extra special.
And this is the page. I've got it right, have I? Just straightforward Wasaga Beach Loves Frontline Workers contest page on Facebook.
You've got it right. Yeah, absolutely. Good. So to submit the submission, all you have to do is submit a message via that Facebook page with that photo and the write-up, and we'll put them into the nominees folder, and away we go. And you just have your friends vote on it by simply liking the photo. And you can like as many photos. I mean, if you, to be honest with you, I've gone through and liked pretty much all of them, more than one, because, you know, they all deserve the likes. So
well, hopefully a lot of people will read the stories as well. And again, it'll just bring it home.
Yeah. And the stories, honestly, when you read the stories, they're good. They make you feel good. These are, you know, these are very deserving people that do a lot for more than just themselves.
Well, you're going to have an actual historic document there that you know, you've got all these people that have been nominated. If anybody in the future wants to celebrate once we come out of this, the powers that be somewhere, you've got a document there of all these fantastic people that can be thanked, even if it's just saying thank you and somebody reads out a list.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know,
absolutely.
It's quite incredible.
Absolutely. So, you know, and like I said, I mean, it really does. It pains me so deeply not to be able to give every single one of them, because they all deserve it. They really do.
I think the very nature of these people, the fact anybody's doing anything, even if they don't win, because they all say they're not heroes, they're just doing their job. You know, the heroes.
And those are the words of a hero, are they not?
Yeah, exactly. So I think the fact that by recognizing 5, we're recognizing them all. You know, that's what happened.
Awesome.
Anyway, the madness that is skydiving.
Yeah. Well, you know, honestly, it's a little less madness than people think.
Yeah.
What drew me in was the Zen quality that comes with it. There's a peace that is achieved, and there's a focus. You know, I always say, you know, when you're trying to focus on things are always penetrating your focus bubble.
Yeah.
And when you jump out of an airplane, nothing else matters. Nothing penetrates the focus bubble. So you get this real pure living in the moment feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
and it can grab you. But I can tell you, every single person that has jumped out of an airplane has had a realignment of priorities. There's so many ways to describe it, but it has had a profound effect on them.
Well, I've had several people know several people, and it's all age groups and fitness levels and everything. So, and I've never heard one bad word,
No, honestly, the worst I've ever heard is, "I'm so glad I did it. I'll never do it again." But I'm glad. But if I had to go back, I would do it again. Like, I don't want to lose the experience. I'm glad I had the experience, but that was enough for me. That's the worst I've ever heard.
And so, how's your business been affected over the last 2 to 3 months? I mean, it wasn't the season, I presume, in March. I don't know when your season starts.
We were planning on starting in April this year because the weather was good. Normally, we start relative to the weather, and May 1st is kind of the target. This year we had some windows in April to be able to go. Obviously, we're deemed non-essential. We are shut down, and I personally believe we are non-essential. So I have no argument. I think that we've basically been put in a position, and on pretty much all of aviation, not just skydiving, has been put in a position to really come up with some measures to deal with this type of situation, not necessarily just COVID, but any sort of transfer type of situation. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Your silver lining in the cloud is that the procedures are being rewritten. As you asked, what have I been doing? Well, I've been writing manuals. Because I've been asked by transport and other people to put together a set of procedures that would keep not only the passenger safe, the employees safe, and really be able to keep record of what's gone on, who's gone on. So contact tracing. And for us, I mean, there are many operations that are bigger than us. We're a small operation in that we keep a very small, tight-knit team. That we're an elite skydive center, so only the top 2% or 3% of the instructors in Canada actually qualify to work here. So it's difficult to replace staff, and it's more difficult to replace family. And when you have that small of a team, they become family very quickly. So we have taken the requests from transport in terms of the minimum requirements, and as always, we've stepped them up a bit. We're things like checking the fever or using a fever gauge on the clients as they come in before they even leave their cars, to make sure that they don't get near the staff before they've been checked. Also, a phone call the night before to go through a bunch of questions and make sure that they don't have a fever, that you haven't been in contact with somebody in COVID. To have all of the staff wearing masks on the ground. I mean, there is a list. It's long. It's been a busy couple of months, but like I said, I mean, we're really committed as a drop zone, as well as I am, anyways, to achieve. When people set minimums, I really like to achieve well beyond what the minimums are. I like to set that as a personal goal, just to make sure that, again, I mean, all these people that are coming to us are trusting us, and all the people that are working for me are, in my opinion, they're all family. So we're really going above and beyond to make sure that whatever we can do to mitigate and make sure that when we do get the okay to start operations and allow people to get a good view of the Georgian Bay and enjoy a little bit of free time and me time. When we do have it, we want to make sure that we're ready, and we are really, really, really safe about it. So,
and are you taking bookings now, ready so you can hit the ground running? How's that work?
We are taking bookings right now. What I would recommend is people put their deposits down for the season, because the shortened season, obviously, there's going to be less spots. You typically do about 1,000 spots a year.
Wow.
And we'll cap it, obviously, depending on the weather and what we're contending with. But in this case, I have a feeling that number is going to be much, much less. In fact, very possibly, I'm hearing, July 1st, you never know. It changes. It's a moving target right now. So you never know. It could be 2 weeks, it could be a month, it could be 2 months. But we want to make sure that when it is time, that we're ready to go. So basically, everybody who's got their deposits in, will be on the front of the list, obviously.
Right.
The first ones.
So you're open for business, basically.
To go.
You're definitely open for business, even though you don't know when people can contact you.
We are. In fact, we've had people that have given us deposits and said, listen, I actually have no intent on using this deposit. I'm just supporting you in what I know must be a very difficult time because, as I said, I mean, we are a non-essential, so obvious non-essential business. So we will probably be amongst the last to get the go-ahead. We're hoping for a phase 2. But again, I mean, you know, it's nice to see, and it's every bit of support counts for everybody in this time. I mean, you know, you're talking your restaurants that can use your support on Wednesdays, you know, for the national takeout days, and basically everybody can use your support at some point or another. So
yeah,
if there's anything that you can do, if you're in the position that you can say, hey, listen, you know, I want to go skydiving, but I don't necessarily want to do it now. I want to do it in 3 years, but I got $50 because I'm in a really good spot. Well, you know, the support is always appreciated. And the same thing again, if you know you're there and you've got the money, order yourself some dinner and keep those restaurant workers going because they need the support too. And I mean, the list is long. It certainly doesn't stop with skydiving restaurant workers. Right now, this is as big an economic crisis as it is a health crisis.
Yeah.
And you know, I think right now we're all in it together. Is you know, the words couldn't be any truer. They really couldn't be any truer. We really are. You know, hey, we look after each other or we don't, but the results will speak.
Good. Well, it sounds like you've got a little chap in the background that's needs some attention.
Yes, indeed. The little guy's just waking up now from his afternoon nap. Before
we sign off, on the Skydive side, just go to Skydive Wasaga Beach, Facebook. That's the easiest.
Yeah, or skydivewasagabeach.com. Yeah, okay. Or our telephone number is 1-844-200-KMPH, which is the speed you'd be falling, which is 1-800-200-5674.
Okay. Well, I'll sign off now. Thanks, everybody, for watching or the recording. If you do have any comments for Leslie, please leave them or contact him on the Skydive Wasaga or the contest for the Wasaga Beach Loves Frontline Workers. I think I got that right. But everything counts. Buy a gift card. Go out and buy a restaurant gift card just to use in the summer. You know, everything helps. We want these businesses to be around this time next year. That's what we're looking at is Wasaga Beach in a year's time. If we don't support them now, the businesses could well not be around. So every bit helps. And fantastic, Leslie. What you're doing with that competition is great.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Andrew, for helping us get the word out. I really appreciate it.
Great. See ya.
See ya.